If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha is a contemporary fiction novel. It is the debut of Frances Cha. Now, I wasn't really interested in this book, but Regan from Peruse Projects gave it a really high score. And it's a very short book. I think it's only like 235 pages or something like that. So it's described, for me, it was kind of like a Korean Sex in the City, but they're younger. I've also heard it's described as a Korean Gossip Girl or a Korean Normal People. So I haven't watched or read any of those or seen Sex in the City, but you know what I mean. Women in the city doing things. So this novel takes place in modern day Seoul, and we're exploring 4 women. There's Ara. She is a mute hairstylist with a clientele. She's got a K-pop obsession, and that's kind of like what she's about, but she used to be with a rougher crowd though, because she's an orphan. And then, you know, she's got a couple of friends at the salon and stuff. And then we also have Miho. She's also an orphan, but she was able to develop an art skill and was sent to New York City to work on art stuff and basically come back. So she's got like an art degree and stuff, and she's working on galleries and stuff and shows. She's a very talented art person. She's dating Han Bin. He's like a rich boy. Parents own hotels and stuff like that. And then we also have Wonna. She is not an orphan, but she was kind of abused by her grandmother a lot. And she's very quiet, introverted. She's trying to get pregnant. Her husband and her, she picked him specifically because he didn't have a mom, because she's afraid of having a domineering mother-in-law, which is kind of a big thing in the novel. And then lastly, we also have Kyuri. She is also I think she's one of the orphans too. However, she used to be a prostitute, and now she works as a salon girl, which is kind of the same thing. She basically dresses up, does her hair, and she basically works at this sort of, I'm not really sure, it's kind of like a hotel club lounge place where rich men get together and drink and eat and maybe sing karaoke, and the women basically sit next to them, look pretty, and pour drinks and get tips. So it's kind of like a hostess sort of gig, and they're all kind of stuck in their own little circles. The book takes its time with its characters because they introduce them all, and they don't actually start crossing paths until about 2 hours into the audiobook, and that's about, I don't know, it's like 25 to 50 to 75 pages in, you start to see the connections of how they all are connected. And not all of them are directly connected to each other, but they sort of have these misadventures in the big city, a couple flashbacks thrown in. Some of the women obviously have more interesting backstories than others. I liked Kyuri the most, and Miho. Those were the most interesting. I didn't really like Ara. She was kind of shallow, and Wonna seemed a little bit sort of disconnected from them. But overall, it's a pretty strong debut because I really like the characters. I really got into the story, even though I'm not the target audience. I still enjoy the novel quite a bit. It, gives you a little bit of insight into the culture, mainly the themes of, the novel's title is If I Had Your Face. A lot of women undergo plastic surgery of the face, and some of them get addicted to plastic surgery, so that's kind of like one of the big things that happens in the book. A lot of them have it, a lot of them don't, a lot of them want more. They also explore K-pop obsession, the salons, the frivolous sort of like relationships. A lot of people are not monogamous, and that's sort of a certain societal thing today. Everyone's sleeping around on each other and cheating and stuff. So If I Had Your Face is a really interesting novel. I really enjoyed it. I will definitely check out the next book by the author, and I give the book a 4 out of 5.